When it comes to strategic air dominance, two things matter most: cutting-edge technology and timing. Right now, China is making bold claims about testing its sixth-generation fighter jets, while the United States, the longtime leader in advanced combat aircraft, has hit the brakes on its next-generation air dominance (NGAD) program due to budget constraints. So the question is, can China seize this moment to tilt the global balance of power for decades to come? And how will the US respond to avoid losing its edge? That's exactly what we'll break down in today's video. But before we dive into comparing these two world giants, let's first answer a key question. What makes a fighter sixth generation anyway? Even though most of these projects are still in testing phases, experts already agree on several defining features of this next era of air combat. 1. Open system architecture. These jets must be built with flexible, future-ready systems that allow rapid upgrades to counter ever-evolving threats. 2. Next-level stealth. More advanced than even the F-35 Lightning II, these fighters are designed to stay invisible to radars and sensors, making detection nearly impossible. 3. Artificial intelligence. Not your average AI chatbot, but advanced integrated systems capable of cyber warfare, data fusion, and seamless coordination with other aircraft in real time. 4. Optional piloting. Pilots can hand off tasks, or entire missions, to AI and autonomous systems, enabling remote operations when needed. 5. Immersive cockpits, virtual displays projected directly onto helmets, replacing physical panels and giving pilots a full 360 degrees view of the battlefield. 6. Manned-unmanned teaming, MUMT. Imagine drones flying as loyal wingmen or entire swarms overwhelming enemy defenses, all working alongside a manned fighter. 7. Directed energy weapons. Think lasers mounted on jets, capable of intercepting missiles or disabling enemy aircraft at lightning speed. On top of all this, new propulsion systems, potential suborbital flight paths, satellite killing capabilities, and digital engineering methods are redefining how these fighters are designed and built. Now that we've set the stage, let's talk about China's surprising leap forward. At the end of December, Chinese media and social platforms exploded with photos and videos of what many believe to be the prototype of the J-36, developed by Chengdu Aircraft Corporation. The jet was spotted flying alongside a two-seat variant of the J-20, and its size alone raised eyebrows. It appeared nearly as large as the heavy J-20 itself, but with a sleek delta wing and extended chine lines running to the nose. This wasn't a complete shock. After all, China already proved its capability with the successful development of the fifth-generation J-20 stealth fighter, sometimes jokingly called the F-22 sketched in pencil. But what caught the world off guard was the timing. Back in 2019, Dr. Wang Hang, chief designer at Chengdu, predicted a sixth-generation fighter wouldn't arrive until 2035. That timeline was echoed in 2021 by state media, with spy photos later confirming the flying wing design, similar to America's NGAD concept. Then, at the Zhuhai Air Show in 2022, China showcased a tailless fighter model that strongly resembled Lockheed Martin's X-44 Manta concept. And now, just 2 years later, the prototype seems to be flying for real. So the big question remains, is China about to leapfrog the US in air dominance, or does Washington have an ace up its sleeve? Stay tuned, because the race for the skies is only just beginning. The massive weight of this mysterious aircraft was hard to miss, signaled right away by its two-wheeled main landing gear. From certain angles, the lower fuselage even gave off J-20 vibes, while the broader nose suggested a cockpit wide enough to potentially seat pilots side by side. But here's the twist. The restricted canopy visibility doesn't guarantee a twin-seat design like we've seen before with the J-20. Even more intriguing, the J-36 prototype spotted in December 2024 looked nothing like the tailless aircraft that satellites caught on camera at the Chengdu Aircraft Corporation airfield back in October 2021. Instead, this new jet had something straight out of Northrop's never-produced YF-23 prototype, engine exhausts cleverly positioned on the upper rear fuselage, a design choice that slashes its infrared signature and makes it far harder to track. And that wasn't all. The fighter sported a complex wing design, featuring 5 trailing-edge control surfaces on each wing, along with split flaps near the tips. These could be used selectively during missions to replace traditional tail controls, manage yaw, or even deploy as air brakes when needed. But one design choice truly stunned aviation experts: an air intake positioned on the top of the fuselage, a rare and risky placement. Add to that 2 more intakes on the lower body, and whispers quickly spread about a possible 3-engine configuration. Still, no one dared confirm it. The safest bet? The tried-and-tested WS-10C turbofan from the J-20, while the highly anticipated WS-15 engine continues development. Other leaked photos revealed 2 mysterious openings on either side of the nose, likely hiding an electro-optical sensor and an RF array for side-looking radar capabilities. And of course, no modern stealth fighter is complete without an internal weapons bay. While its layout mirrored the J-20, experts believe this bay could be far deeper and longer, allowing it to carry a more devastating payload. But just when the world was still buzzing about Chengdu's creation, on December 26, 2024, another surprise appeared. This time from Shenyang Aircraft Corporation, the same company behind the Flanker family and the stealthy J-35. This prototype, however, looked more traditional. Sharp swept wings, bold triangular extensions, and twin engines fed by angular diverter supersonic intakes, DSI, placed beneath the wing roots. Here's where things get even murkier. From the photos, it's hard to even confirm whether this aircraft had a cockpit. Which raises the question, was it a manned fighter, or could it actually be China's next big stealth drone? What it shared with Chengdu's prototype, however, was clear: a tailless design. This reduces drag and dramatically boosts performance for sustained high-speed maneuvers and long-range cruising. Both prototypes also seemed to carry massive internal volume, ideal for storing extra fuel and weapons. That's a game-changer for the Asia-Pacific theater, where distance and endurance define victory. But here's the million-dollar question, or rather, the $28 billion question. Could the sudden appearance of China's potential 6th-generation fighters influence the U.S. Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) program, which has already faced serious roadblocks? Now the pressure falls squarely on the shoulders of newly elected President Donald Trump and his administration. The U.S. Air Force has already requested $2.74 billion for 6th-generation fighter development in fiscal year 2025, with total projected costs hitting nearly $20 billion by 2029. Add another $9 billion for collaborative combat aircraft, drone wingmen designed to fly alongside the NGAD, and the stakes couldn't be higher. So the race is officially on. Will China's head start push America into overdrive, or is Beijing about to rewrite the rules of air dominance forever? It's no surprise that many are outraged by the staggering costs of next-generation fighters. But here's the other side of the coin. If an aircraft can do it all, a machine that represents the very pinnacle of human engineering and technology, then maybe a price tag of a few $100 million isn't so crazy. After all, just look at the legendary F-22 Raptor, still the rock star of its generation, decades after its debut. And the Air Force isn't stopping there. Reports suggest they're exploring 2 distinct versions of the NGAD, a long-range variant designed to dominate the vast Indo-Pacific skies, a shorter-range, regionally focused variant optimized for European operations. Running parallel programs doesn't come cheap. It demands massive resources. Like China's mysterious 6th-gen project, America's NGAD is expected to be tailless. In fact, the U.S. Air Force rolled out a prototype in 2020, and by 2023, 3 demonstrators were already in testing. So, what makes NGAD special? A sleeker stealth fuselage, next-gen coatings, and advanced thermal systems. Simply put, enemy radars won't just miss it, they won't even know it's there. Yes, the manned fighter side of NGAD is on pause, but that's no sign of weakness. Other programs are racing forward, like collaborative combat aircraft drones and adaptive cycle engines from GE and Pratt & Whitney. These engines could even boost the F-35 Lightning II, giving today's fleet a huge upgrade. The real concern? If China fields a 6th-gen fighter first, the balance of power could shift overnight, pressuring Taiwan, tightening its grip on the South China Sea, and limiting Washington's reach. So, how does the U.S. close the gap? First, Congress must lift the budget squeeze. In this race, Hesitation means defeat. A second, America holds the edge in network-centric warfare. Fighters, drones, and satellites working as one connected war machine. Third, modernization. The F-22 and F-35 keep getting smarter, bridging the gap until NGAD fully arrives. And finally, alliances. Partners like Japan and Australia share costs, expertise, and speed up progress. No superpower wins alone. Now it's your turn. Will China's fighters rewrite the balance of power, or will they once again fall short of U.S. rivals? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take.